The discovery that changed everything. Captain Marcus Kane stood on the bridge of the exploration vessel Horizon's Edge, his weathered hands gripping the command rail as he stared at the impossible sight before them. The massive obsidian structure hung motionless in the void between two dying stars, its surface absorbing light like a hungry darkness. It was larger than any human-built vessel, easily dwarfing their ship by a factor of 10. "Sir, the readings are off the charts," reported Lieutenant Zara Voss from her sensor station, her voice barely concealing her excitement. "The energy signatures don't match anything in our databases. This thing has been here for thousands of years, maybe longer." Chief Engineer Dmitry Kozlov whistled low as he studied his instruments. "Captain, whatever powers this vessel operates on principles we don't understand. The energy output is stable, but massive. It's like looking at a star wrapped in metal." Kane had spent 15 years exploring the Outer Rim territories, discovering new worlds and mapping unknown sectors for the human colonial authority. He had seen ancient ruins, encountered strange phenomena, but nothing like this. The Black Ship was a legend whispered in spacer bars and told around campfires on frontier worlds. Most dismissed it as folklore, a ghost story to frighten rookie pilots. "Navigation Officer Torres, plot our approach vector," Kane commanded. "Keep those at a safe distance for now." Maria Torres, the youngest member of his crew, worked quickly at her console. "Sir, there's something else. The ship appears to be generating its own gravitational field. It's subtle, but our instruments are picking up the distortion." The bridge fell silent, except for the gentle hum of life support systems. Kane could feel the weight of decision pressing down on him. They could report their discovery to Earth Command and wait for a full expedition team, or they could investigate themselves. His crew looked to him with a mixture of fear and anticipation. "Dr. Hammond, what's your assessment?" Kane asked, turning to their xenoarchaeologist. Dr. Rebecca Hammond adjusted her glasses as she studied the preliminary scans. "Captain, if this vessel is truly as old as the readings suggest, it could contain technology that would advance human civilization by centuries. The implications are staggering." Kane nodded slowly. He understood the magnitude of their discovery. The Black Ship wasn't just a vessel. It was potentially humanity's greatest archaeological find. But with great discovery came great risk. Unknown alien technology could be dangerous, even deadly. "Sir," interrupted communications specialist Jack Morrison, his face pale as he monitored various frequencies. "I'm detecting something. Faint transmissions from within the ship. They're not random signals, Captain. There's a pattern, almost like it's trying to communicate." The revelation sent a chill through the bridge crew. An active signal meant the ship might not be as abandoned as they initially thought. Kane felt the familiar surge of adrenaline that came with pushing into uncharted territory. This was why he had become an explorer, to stand at the threshold of the unknown and take that crucial first step forward. "All hands, prepare for close approach," Kane announced over the ship's intercom. "We're going to make history today." First contact. Protocols. The Horizon's Edge moved slowly toward the massive alien vessel, every sensor trained on the dark surface ahead of them. Captain Kane had ordered full passive scanning to avoid triggering any defensive systems that might still be operational after millennia of silence. "Captain, I'm reading multiple docking ports along the ship's midsection," reported Lieutenant. "They appear to be of varying sizes, suggesting this vessel was designed to accommodate different species or ship types." Chief Kozlov frowned at his engineering displays. "The construction is unlike anything I've seen. No welding joints, no visible seams. It's as if the entire hull was grown rather than built. The material composition is completely unknown." Kane studied the tactical display showing their approach vector. The Black Ship remained eerily silent, its dark surface revealing no signs of life or activity. Yet the communication signals detected by Morrison continued their rhythmic pattern, growing stronger as they drew closer. "Dr. Hammond, any theories about the builders?" Kane asked. The xenoarchaeologist was deeply engrossed in her analysis. "The architectural style suggests a highly advanced civilization, with aesthetic preferences favoring organic curves over angular designs. The scale indicates beings of considerable size, possibly twice human height, based on the proportions of those." "Docking bays." Torres looked up from her navigation console with concern. "Captain, something's happening. The gravitational field around the ship is intensifying. We're being drawn in, but not violently. It's almost like we're being guided." Kane felt his pulse quicken. "Cut engines. Let's see where this takes us." The bridge crew watched in fascination as their ship was gently maneuvered toward one of the smaller docking ports. The precision was remarkable, suggesting an intelligence behind the movement rather than simple gravitational attraction. "Sir, the docking port is opening," Morrison announced, his voice filled with wonder. "The atmosphere beyond is breathable. Oxygen-nitrogen mix, slightly higher pressure than Earth normal." Kozlov shook his head in amazement. "Captain, this ship is actively maintaining life support. After thousands of years in space, it's still operational and apparently welcoming visitors." Kane made his decision. "Suit up, everyone. We're going aboard. Standard first contact protocols, no sudden movements. Record everything." He paused, looking at each crew member in turn. "Whatever we find in there, remember that we represent all of humanity. Our actions today could determine the future of our species." The crew prepared their equipment with practiced efficiency. Environmental suits, recording devices, translation computers, and basic scientific instruments were distributed. Kane checked his sidearm, hoping it would remain unused but understanding the necessity of being prepared. As they approached the airlock connecting their ship to the black ship, the alien vessel's systems activated. Lights began to illuminate along the corridor beyond, creating a path deeper into the ship. The message was clear. They were expected. "Captain," Dr. Hammond whispered as they cycled through the airlock, "look at these symbols etched into the walls. They're not random decorations. This is writing, a language system far more complex than any human script." The interior of the black ship was breathtaking. Corridors stretched in graceful curves, their walls embedded with what appeared to be living circuitry that pulsed with soft, bioluminescent light. The architecture flowed like water, frozen in time, creating spaces that felt both alien and strangely welcoming. Kane led his team forward, following the illuminated path deeper into the vessel. Each step took them further from the familiar and closer to secrets that could reshape humanity's understanding of the universe. The communication signals grew stronger, more distinct, as if the ship itself was awakening to their presence. "Whatever built this wanted to be found," Kane murmured as they walked through halls designed for beings far larger than themselves. "The question is, are they still here?" The heart of the ship, the illuminated pathway, led Captain Kane and his crew through a maze of corridors that seemed to pulse with organic life. The walls themselves appeared to breathe, their bioluminescent patterns shifting and changing as the humans passed. Dr. Hammond documented everything, her scientific instruments working overtime to record the unprecedented discovery. "Captain, the air composition is changing," reported Kozlov, monitoring his environmental readings. "It's becoming more suitable for human physiology. The ship is adapting to our presence." Lieutenant Voss kept her scanner trained ahead, searching for any signs of danger or life. "Sir, I'm detecting a massive chamber approximately 200 meters ahead. The energy readings are incredible." As they rounded a final curve, the corridor opened into a vast cathedral-like space that took their breath away. The chamber rose hundreds of meters above them, its walls covered in intricate patterns that seemed to tell a story in symbols and images. At the center stood a crystalline structure, roughly humanoid in shape but translucent and filled with swirling energy. "My God," whispered Dr. Hammond, her voice filled with awe. "It's some kind of data storage system, but unlike anything we've ever conceived, the information density must be astronomical." Torres approached one of the wall displays, her translation computer working to decode the alien symbols. "Captain, I think these are historical records, images of different species, star maps, what might be technological blueprints." Kane studied the central crystal structure more closely. "Morrison, are the communication signals originating from that thing?" The communication specialist nodded, his equipment focused on the crystalline form. "Yes, sir, and they're getting stronger. It's almost like it's trying to synchronize with our electronics." Suddenly, the crystal began to glow more brightly, and holographic images filled the air around them. The crew watched in amazement as the history of an ancient galactic civilization unfolded before their eyes. They saw mighty ships traveling between stars, peaceful first contacts between different species, and the gradual formation of what appeared to be a vast interstellar alliance. "Look at this," Dr. Hammond called out, pointing to a series of images showing Earth's solar system. "They knew about us. They've been watching humanity develop for millennia." The holographic display shifted, showing more recent events. The crew recognized images of early human space exploration, the first moon landing, the construction of the first interstellar colonies. The alien civilization had been documenting human progress with remarkable detail. Kane felt a chill run down his spine as the implications became clear. "They've been waiting for us. This ship, this message, it's all been preparation for this moment." The crystal structure began to change, its form becoming more defined, more purposeful. Energy patterns within it shifted and coalesced until something resembling a face appeared within the translucent material. When it spoke, the voice came from everywhere at once, translated somehow into perfect human speech. "Welcome, children of Earth," the entity said, its voice carrying the weight of countless ages. "We are the keepers, guardians of knowledge and shepherds of emerging civilizations. You have finally reached the stars, as we knew you would." The crew stood in stunned silence. First contact with an alien intelligence was supposed to be a gradual process, carefully managed by teams of specialists. Instead, they found themselves face to face with a being that claimed to have watched over humanity since its earliest days. "We have waited long for this moment," the keeper continued. "Your species shows promise, but you face challenges that have destroyed others before you. We offer knowledge, but wisdom cannot be given, only earned." Kane found his voice. "What do you want from us?" The crystal entity pulsed with what might have been amusement. "Nothing that you are not already prepared to give. You seek to explore, to grow, to protect those you love. These are the qualities that drew our attention. The question is not what we want from you, but what you are willing to do with what we offer." The holographic displays around them shifted again, showing scenes of cosmic threats, massive energy storms that could sterilize entire star systems, aggressive species that consumed worlds, and ancient technologies that could either save or damn entire civilizations. "The galaxy is vast and full of wonders," the keeper explained, "but it is also dangerous. Your species stands at a crossroads. The knowledge within this ship can help you survive what is coming, but first you must prove worthy of such responsibility." The test of worthiness, the keeper's words hung in the air like a challenge that would determine humanity's future among the stars. Captain Kane felt the weight of responsibility settling on his shoulders, knowing that his crew's actions in the next few moments could shape the destiny of their entire species. "What kind of test?" Kane asked, his voice steady despite the magnitude of the situation. The crystal entity pulsed with deeper light, and the chamber around them began to transform. The walls shifted and reconfigured, creating what appeared to be a series of interconnected chambers, each containing different scenarios, playing out in holographic detail. "The trials are not of strength or intelligence alone," the Keeper explained. "They are tests of character, of the choices your species will make when faced with difficult decisions. Observe." The first chamber showed a human colony under attack by an unknown force. Ships descended from the sky, but their intentions were unclear. Kane watched as holographic humans faced a crucial decision: fight back immediately or attempt communication first. "Lieutenant Voss, what would you do?" Kane asked. Voss studied the scenario carefully. "Sir, I'd try to establish communication first. The attacking ships haven't actually fired yet. They might be desperate rather than hostile." The Keeper seemed to approve. Wisdom often lies in restraint, but observe what happens next. The scenario continued. Showing the colony's attempt at communication failing, the alien ships began their attack, and precious time had been lost. Some colonists died who might have been saved with immediate defensive action. "Every choice has consequences," the Keeper noted. "Compassion without strength leads to tragedy, but strength without compassion leads to darkness." The second chamber revealed a different challenge. A human exploration ship discovering a primitive alien civilization on the verge of a breakthrough that would either lead to space travel or self-destruction. The question was whether to intervene. "Doctor," Hammond stepped forward. "The Prime Directive suggests non-interference, but if they're about to destroy themselves—" "There is no universal right answer," the Keeper replied. "Only the understanding that every action ripples across time. Your species must learn to weigh not just immediate consequences, but the long-term effects of their choices." Chief Kozlov examined the third scenario, which showed human colonies expanding rapidly across multiple star systems, consuming resources and potentially conflicting with other species' territorial claims. "The challenge of growth," Kozlov murmured. "How do you expand without becoming the very thing you once feared?" Torres found herself drawn to the fourth chamber, where humans encountered a dying alien race whose technology could save millions of human lives, but would require abandoning their homeworld to an environmental disaster. "The price of survival," she whispered. "How much are we willing to sacrifice for our own species' continuation?" Morrison faced the final scenario. A human fleet possessing the power to destroy a hostile alien empire before it could threaten Earth, but at the cost of billions of innocent lives within that empire. The ultimate test, Kane realized, the moment when we have to choose between security and morality on a galactic scale. The Keeper's voice filled the chamber once more. "These are not hypothetical scenarios, Captain Kane. They are echoes of futures that may come to pass. Your species will face each of these challenges, and many others like them. The question is whether you will face them with wisdom or mere cleverness, with compassion or cold calculation." Kane looked at his crew, seeing the weight of understanding in their eyes. They weren't just explorers anymore, they were representatives of humanity's future among the stars. "How do we prove we're worthy?" Kane asked. "By understanding that worthiness is not a destination but a journey," the Keeper replied. "The test is not in finding perfect answers to these dilemmas, but in demonstrating that your species will continue to struggle with these questions, to grow from your mistakes, and to choose hope over fear when faced with the unknown." The chamber began to shift again, the scenarios fading as new displays emerged. These showed not tests, but gifts. Advanced propulsion technologies, methods for terraforming hostile worlds, communication protocols for peaceful first contact, and defensive systems to protect against cosmic threats. The knowledge is yours, the keeper announced. But remember that with great power comes the responsibility to use it wisely. The galaxy watches newcomers carefully. Some will welcome you as allies, others will test your resolve, a few will see you as threats to be eliminated. Kane felt the magnitude of the moment. Humanity was being offered a place among the galactic community, but it came with challenges that would test every virtue his species possessed. "We accept," he said simply, "not just the knowledge, but the responsibility that comes with it." Humanity's new dawn. The crystalline entity pulsed with what could only be described as satisfaction, and the massive chamber began to transform once more. The walls became transparent, revealing the vast interior of the black ship, extending in all directions. What had seemed like a single vessel was actually a mobile city, with countless levels and sections dedicated to different aspects of galactic civilization. "Behold the true nature of our gift," the keeper announced, as holographic interfaces materialized around each crew member. "This ship is not merely a repository of knowledge, but a living embassy. It will serve as humanity's first step into the greater galactic community." Captain Kane felt the significance of the moment wash over him. "You mean we're to take this ship back to Earth?" "Not take, Captain, guide. The ship will travel to your homeworld, but it will remain here in this system, as a bridge between your people and the cosmos. Earth is not yet ready for the full weight of galactic responsibility, but with time and wisdom, your species will grow into that role." Dr. Hammond was already interfacing with the knowledge systems, her eyes wide with wonder. "Captain, the information here could advance human science by thousands of years. Medical technologies that could eliminate disease, energy systems that could power entire worlds without environmental damage, agricultural methods that could end hunger forever." Chief Kozlov examined the engineering displays with professional fascination. "Sir, the propulsion systems alone could cut travel time between star systems by 90%. We could reach the nearest human colonies in days instead of months." Lieutenant Voss was studying the defensive technologies. "These shielding systems could protect our colonies from asteroid impacts, solar flares, even certain types of weapons. Our outer rim settlements would finally be truly safe." Torres and Morrison worked together on the communication systems, discovering translation protocols that could facilitate peaceful contact with dozens of known alien species. The implications for diplomacy and trade were staggering, but Kane understood that the greatest gift wasn't the technology itself, but the opportunity to prove humanity worthy of it. "Keeper, what happens now? How do we proceed?" "You return to your people and prepare them for what is coming," the entity replied. "The ship will establish orbit around your homeworld and begin the gradual process of cultural exchange. Select representatives will come aboard to learn, and they will return to teach others. Your species must grow into this responsibility gradually, or the weight of it will crush your civilization." The holographic displays around them shifted to show Earth as seen from space, but now, with the massive black ship maintaining a stable orbit alongside humanity's space stations and lunar colonies. It was an image that would transform human understanding of their place in the universe. There will be resistance, Kane realized. Fear, suspicion, those who would use this technology for war rather than peace. "Of course," the keeper acknowledged. "Every species faces this challenge. The strong survive not through the elimination of conflict, but through the wisdom to resolve it constructively. Your people will argue, debate, and struggle with these gifts. That struggle is part of growth." Dr. Hammond looked up from her studies. "How long do we have? When will other galactic civilizations make direct contact?" "Time moves differently for civilizations than for individuals," the keeper explained. "You have perhaps a generation to prepare, maybe two. Some species will approach with curiosity and friendship. Others will test your resolve through challenges and confrontations. A few will see your rapid advancement as a threat requiring elimination. The weight of responsibility settled on Kane's shoulders like a mantle. Humanity would no longer be alone in the universe, but that meant they would also no longer be safe in isolation. The galaxy was vast, full of wonders and terrors in equal measure. "We won't face it alone," Kane said, understanding finally dawning. "That's the real gift, isn't it? Not just the technology, but membership in something larger than ourselves." "You begin to understand," the Keeper replied with approval. "The galaxy thrives when species work together, each contributing their unique strengths to the whole. Humanity brings something special: adaptability, creativity, and a stubborn refusal to accept defeat. These qualities will serve you well in the challenges ahead." As the crew prepared to return to their ship and begin the journey back to Earth, Kane took one last look around the vast chamber. In a few days, human civilization would be forever changed. There would be new frontiers to explore, new challenges to face, and new responsibilities to shoulder. But for the first time since leaving Earth, Kane felt truly optimistic about humanity's future. They were no longer alone in the dark, no longer confined to a single world or even a single star system. The galaxy awaited, vast and full of possibilities. The black ship was real, and humanity was finally ready to claim their place among the stars.